Good Monday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and what a shot this is. This is our Black Mountain Sky-Fi Tower camera overlooking, well, in the distance anyway, is Blewett Pass and Highway 97. And that, folks, is why we stayed so cool today. Cloud inversion that kept our skies cloudy throughout the day today. But as you can see, just above those clouds, plenty of sunshine. And that's what we kind of thought would happen for us today, but it just didn't with that inversion. Low clouds, and it kept us awfully cool today. And we've got some wet weather coming our way. In fact, 3 storms. It says 3 there. It's really 4 storms. Storm number 1 is pretty much pushed through our area. It is into Montana now. Storm number 2 is actually a little bit closer to the coastline than that slide shows. That will bring us some very wet weather beginning about 4 o'clock this morning. Tomorrow morning till 4 p.m. on Tuesday, we have a winter weather advisory. Travel could be tricky. 1 to 3 inches of snow possible. A couple of feet of snow possible in the Cascades. So if you're traveling, be careful. And we have storm number 3 and even storm number 4 behind that we will tell you all about coming up a little bit later on. But let's get back to this storm tomorrow into Wednesday morning. This is what we're looking at as far as snowfall totals. And boy, that area is in gold, orange, and red is where we could see a lot of snow over the next 24 hours or so here in Wenatchee. As we mentioned, about 1 to 3 inches of that heavy, wet snow. And we will tell you much more about all these storm systems moving through the area coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Jennifer Tyler has filed a $1 million legal claim against the county, alleging sheriff's staff retaliated against her for her successful lawsuit last March against the county. It's apparently back to square one for Cascade School District's planned sale of property in the Plain area. And residents of Leavenworth and surrounding communities said goodbye yesterday to a fallen soldier. But first, we begin tonight. Fire swept through an expensive motorhome in the Malaga area Saturday night, but the owner was able to escape with his pet dog. Chief Brian Brett with Chelan County Fire District 1 says the recreational vehicle was located next to a manufactured home that was being built off Kingsbury Road in the Colocum area. Brett said the homeowner had been living in the motorhome but had gone back to the house to take a shower. When he came out, he noticed smoke coming out of the RV.
He proceeds over and notices it looks like the fire is underneath in the storage hatches that you open up. He opens one and fire comes right out into his face. Fortunately, the compartment next to it had a fire extinguisher, and he opened that and discharged the whole contents of the extinguisher. However, the fire was too well involved and it didn't make much of an impact on that. So as soon as he made that attempt, he realized his dog, Ryder, Chihuahua Pomeranian mix, was in the RV. So Terry ran over to the door, opened it up, and went in. And he found smoke from the ceiling to the floor. He couldn't see it all. Drops down to his hands and knees and crawls through this RV, sweeping with his hands, looking for Ryder. And Terry said the floor is so hot, it was hurting his knees and hands, burning his knees and hands as he was crawling. And his hands hurt so much yesterday, I couldn't even have him write on the report for me. However, he makes it about 20 feet into the dining room area, sweeps with his hands, feels Ryder, grabs Ryder. Ryder's down and not responding, and crawls out of the RV. He gives Ryder a couple rescue breaths, mouth-to-snout breaths, and Ryder perked right up. And as of yesterday, Ryder's doing just fine.
Brett says the RV and its wood frame shelter were totally engulfed in flames when crews arrived.
There's no water supply up there. The crews had to shuttle tank water, and the power line, some of the hazards the crews encountered, the power dropped on the hoses and arced one of the couplings. Terry also had 50 to 100,000 rounds of 22 and 30-06 ammunition, and it was going off for about 45 minutes during the fire.
Brett says the homeowner, identified as Terry Harvey, did not require any medical attention. He says the cause is under investigation, but he speculated it was electrical in nature. Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Jennifer Tyler has filed a $1 million legal claim against the county, alleging sheriff's staff retaliated against her for her successful lawsuit last March, against the county. Tyler, who was placed on leave this week as undisclosed allegations against her are investigated, also claims she was retaliated against for her unsuccessful campaign for sheriff in the November election. A copy of Tyler's claim was provided to news outlets by her attorney. In March, Tyler was awarded more than $500,000 in a lawsuit that also claimed retaliation. Prior to that, she'd been terminated by the Sheriff's Department, only to be reinstated after an arbitrator's ruling. In her new claim, Tyler alleges, among other things, that Sheriff Brian Burnett sent a department-wide email after the March ruling saying he disagreed with the verdict. This, she said, emboldened those who had discriminated against her and harassed her to resume that behavior. That, according to media outlets and, of course, Chelan County Sheriff. The claim further states that she was placed on paid leave pending 4 internal investigations in retaliation for suing the department, running for sheriff, and participating in union activities. Well, it's apparently back to square one for Cascade School District's planned sale of property in the Plain area. The district rejected 2 purchase bids and will now wait until after the new year to put the property back out to bid. Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue submitted the 2 failed bids. The fire department was hoping to develop the property, which is located next to the fire station, for a new multi-purpose training facility. Chief Mick Lamar outlined the need for more space in a June interview here on the Ncwlife channel.
So we took a look at our station in Plain, which is next to Cascades Beaver Valley Elementary School. And that's a site that looks central to our area. If you drew a 10-mile radius around that station, a propensity of our homeowners live within 10 miles of that station, central to the community. And the school district next door had 10 acres. They bought back in the late 1990s, early 2000 period, built Beaver Valley Elementary School. So we had reached out to them and said, at any point in time, if you don't use your excess land, if you're interested in getting rid of it, we would be interested in acquiring it so we could increase our footprint for development in the future.
The fire district's bid failed to include the development of a children's playground as required by the school district. Superintendent Bill Motzenbacher said the school board wanted to be sure that the playground got built, and they needed some more time to determine exactly how they wanted to do that. Well, it was a chance for the community to offer thanks and bid a tearful farewell as Sergeant Leandro Jasso was laid to rest on Sunday. The Leavenworth native died in a battle in Afghanistan in late November. It started Sunday morning in East Wenatchee with a procession that led all the way to Leavenworth. Along the route, scattered groups of onlookers waved American flag as the police escorted procession past. In Leavenworth, the Cascade High School gym overflowed with friends, family, neighbors, and others who came to remember and honor the fallen Army Ranger. A familiar theme among those who spoke was Jasso's passion for life and caring for others. Coming up next, nearly 30 volunteers came out to Sangster Motors yesterday morning to finish assembling 130 bicycles. It's all part of the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Dalton Thomas has been named 2019 Apple Citizen of the Year, and parents and alumni of the University of Washington Marching Band returned the generosity to Grant County schools that provided assistance in a time of need. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, nearly 30 volunteers came out to Sangster Motors Sunday morning to finish assembling 130 bicycles as part of the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Take a look.
It's the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive Bike Build at Sangster Motors.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
Got the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, putting the bikes together for all the kids, and just having a good time with everyone.
Kirk's done a great job at Les Schwab. Him and Nikki just done an amazing job putting this together, you know, and anything, like I said last year, that he wants to get us on board with, we're going to do it. I mean, these kids need these things, and we're just glad that we can support and help.
Brakes work, seats are tight, wheels are on, tires are full. Yeah, so when the kid gets the bike, they can get on and go.
Right now I'm looking to make sure that the chain can hit all of the gears for each click of the shifter. And just listening for any kind of grinding sounds, making sure that the chain is straight.
We're all about giving back to the community. I mean, Dad's taught that to us. I mean, it's like support, you know, the community and the people that support you, and anything we can do that will help, we're all in.
So volunteer Sunday morning for you here?
Yeah, no, happy to do it. I've been looking to do this kind of stuff since I moved here a couple months ago. Finally got an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So Wenatchee Valley Velo's role is we provide the helmets, and we make sure that these bikes, we're checking them out in the other room there, making sure they're all race ready to go. But we're also making sure that each kid has a helmet on there and protect those kids' heads as they go down the road and whatnot type deal. So yeah, we every year we give over 750 helmets out, 500 at Youth Day at the park. 100 here, 100 up in Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue, and then another 100 over there to the East Wenatchee Rotary when they have a bike rodeo there. So it's our big campaign. It's what we're passionate about, making sure that when kids are out there on their bikes that they've got a helmet, and we're protecting those kids as they go on.
After what's happened last year and what's happened this year, a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to go, we want to get on board with this. I mean, this is great for the community to help these people out. And like I said, my brothers and my dad and I, we're just glad that we can do what we do.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
Dalton Thomas has been named 2019 Apple Citizen of the Year. Festival Administrator Darcy Christofferson and former Wenatchee Valley College Athletic Director Sandy Cooprider surprised Dalton with the award at the Oneonta Star Ranch Growers, their Christmas party. It was at the Wenatchee Golf and Country Club Friday night. The Apple Citizen of the Year award began in 1981 to honor the roots of the fruit industry and the leaders that make this the Wenatchee Valley, the apple capital of the world. Dalton will be honored at the 100th Apple Blossom Festival at the All Service Club Luncheon. That will be on Wednesday, May 1st, and will also ride in the Stamilk Growers Grand Parade on May 4th, 2019. George Elementary School is giving a big thank you to the parents and alumni of the University of Washington Husky Marching Band for their generosity. School officials announced they've received over 70 packages of various school supplies in response to the support that the communities of George and Quincy gave to the Husky Marching Band when one of their buses flipped on Thanksgiving night. You're watching the Ncwlife Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the Ncwlife Evening News. Stay with us.
Mary Maids. Just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back to the Ncwlife Evening News. Construction is moving right along on the new $80 million high school in Quincy. Along with the state-of-the-art gymnasium, the new Quincy High School will also feature a 550-seat performing arts center and should be completed by the beginning of the school year, excuse me, in September 2019. Here's a look. Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get into those details, let's take this beautiful look once again outside our weather window from this afternoon. This is that cloud deck that kept our temperatures down almost all day today. We should have got up into the upper 30s, but it just didn't happen because these clouds just kept our temperature down, and the sunshine was out above that this afternoon. We just didn't see any of it, and that kept us on the cool side today. High temperature today only at 30 degrees at Pangbourne Airport. 33 is our normal high. 28 is where we started this morning. 24 is where we should be. That's our normal low temperature. 51, our record high temperature back in 1967. Record low, that was 2 degrees not too long ago. Do you remember it? Back in 2009. We have picked up 11 hundredths of an inch of precipitation the past 24 hours. That gets us to 6.39 now for the year. Sunrise this morning is at 7:37, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:10. Now let's take a look at that surface loop, and there is a lot to get to. Storm number 1 will be headed our way tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., and you make that morning commute, be careful. We could see some pretty heavy snow at that time, a 90% chance of snow. Maybe a little bit of rain mixed in there, so it could be a little slick tomorrow. Here's our situation by tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Will still be cloudy. A 60% chance of rain mixed with snow. As you can see, all of Washington inundated with blue and even some heavier snow in the Cascades. Wednesday at 4 o'clock, we should see a bit of a break between storms, you might say. Partly cloudy and breezy for Wednesday. Could see winds up to 20 miles an hour at times on Wednesday. And then by Thursday, storm number 2, and here it is wrapping itself around off the coast of Oregon. It has a warmer effect, though, than we've seen the past couple of days, so I think we will see probably more rain than snow. By the time we get into Friday, still a 40% chance for a mix of rain and snow. And look at the size of that system moving in for the weekend. Saturday at 4 o'clock, really not so much happening, but that will be storm number 3 as it begins to move into the western part of the state. For us, around midnight, early morning hours into Sunday, that's when we will have the best chance for snow, a 60% chance. And I think it'll be mainly rain on Sunday because our temperatures are warming up. Once again, we have a very strong southwesterly flow, so that's bringing more tropical moisture our way. We could see still a little bit of snow mixed into the Cascades, and it's going to stay like this, folks, right into Monday, Tuesday, and next week looks very wet as well. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast now. Tonight will drop down a lot like tonight, 28 degrees. Snow is possible and very possible for Tuesday, 37. A little breezy for your Wednesday and 42 degrees for the high. Cloudy, a 40% chance of more moisture Thursday. We'll stay with 40% chance on Friday. That goes up to 60% by Saturday night and especially into Sunday. High temperatures then at 38 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the Ncwlife Evening News continues right after this.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
And now it's a sports update on the Ncwlife channel.
And a happy Monday to you. The Wenatchee Wild moved into first place in the interior division of the BCHL with a weekend sweep of Penticton in a home-and-home series. It all began on Friday night, Pink at the Rink night to support the fight against breast cancer and the rest of cancer at the Town Toyota Center. The V's jumped out to a 2-0 lead with first period goals. It would remain that way until midway through the third period, when Christophe Tellier would get the Wild on the board. Nathan Iannone tied it nearly 4 minutes later. Then at the 15:23 mark, Matt Dorsey took the puck the length of the ice, skated past 3 defenders, stuffed it in the net for the lead. Wenatchee would end up getting 2 more with a 5-2 win. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Ahead for a streaking Adams. Adams into the zone on the backhand, tosses it out in front. And back in front, shot, score! Christophe Tellier. Twisted away, held into the point by Modry. Shot, score! Nathan Iannone with a redirection. Jacob Modry took the shot from the right point, and Iannone in the high slot got a redirection on it. Gloved by Dorsey. Dorsey spins away from Sandelin and comes out through center with it. Dorsey cuts to his left, powers into the zone. Dorsey goes hard in front, shoots, he scores! Matt Dorsey goes end to end. Puck turned over, Gashevsky bangs it out to center. Iannone's going to chase after it, but the V's get there first and then fired at the empty net and in. Matt Gashevsky. And Cook's going to launch it out through center, and here comes Adams with the empty net, and he shoots it off the outside of the net, and he got hooked on the way through. Rebound, it's put in. Either way, I think they're going to get the goal. Final handful of seconds will tick away. And this one's in the books. 5 unanswered goals. And the Wenatchee Wild have a season-high 7-game win streak.
Well, then the two clubs would head to the South Okanagan Event Center Saturday in Penticton, that is, where the script would flip, but the result would be the same. Wenatchee would jump out to a first period lead on goals by Blake Barger, Matt Goshevsky, and Chad Suzuki to take a 3-1 lead at the first intermission. The V's would fight back with a goal in the second, another midway through the third to tie it at 3-3. The game would be decided on Brandon Cook's 5th goal of the season at the 15:53 mark to send Wenatchee to a 4-3 victory and move the Wild into first place in the division. Back to the highlights we go with Art Checker on the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. Video courtesy of Hockey TV.
And Hodges gets it in now to Fletcher. He's in, backhander, and a save, rebound, score! Blake Barger. Fletcher ended up with the puck on the left side. Came down low and cut to the front of the net. Couldn't finish it off, though, but Blake Barger did. Iannone handles it in the far corner, drops it off to Goshevsky. Looks for Laney, scores! Matt Goshevsky rockets it from the bottom of the right circle, picks the top corner, high on the glove side, under the bar. Power play goal for Matt Goshevsky. His 21st of the year. The Wild now lead it 2-0. Midpoint up high for Sasaki. Sasaki in, shoots, and he scores! He was tipped in front. I don't know if it went off Iannone or if it was off a Penticton stick. Sasaki's leading the drive-by, so apparently it went off of a V's defender, but another power play goal for the Wild, and they now lead it 3-0. Dished into the corner, and Goshevsky has it again. Throws it back to the point. Cook with a shot, and it's in! Oh, the shot from the left point. And Kenny Johnson was in front, and it went off his blade, slowed it down immensely, and just popped up and ever so slowly rolled over the shoulder of LaFontaine and fell in the net behind him. A seeing eye shot from Brandon Cook over at the left point. Moves it across for Niedermeyer. He's into the zone but can't get a shot. Poke checked and cleared by the Wild, and that's going to do it as the V's chase it down in their own end. Wenatchee completes the weekend sweep of the Penticton V's on the home-and-home series. Back-to-back regulation wins. And for the Wild, they now move into first place in the Interior Division.
Wild will be back home Friday when they'll host Salmon Arm at 7:05. Let's get quickly through the weekend of events. First, Eastern Washington Eagles. Sam McPherson scored on a 35-yard touchdown run with 26 seconds left. Lift the Eagles past the UC Davis 34-29. They'll play in the semifinals against Maine at 11 o'clock Saturday at the red carpet. Wenatchee Panthers girls bowling team won the Tower Classic tournament over the weekend in Tacoma. Congratulations to them. Heading to the Les Schwab scoreboard in Prep Boys basketball on Saturday. There you see the winners, Meade, Eastmont, Cashmere, Chelan, and LaConner on the girls' side on Saturday. It was Meade also getting the better of Wenatchee. Eastmont, Cashmere, LaSalle, LaConner all getting victories. Turning to Friday in boys basketball, Ferris, Eastmont, Cashmere, Okanagan, Cascade, and Entiat winners. And on the girls' side on Friday nights, it was Ferris, Meade, Cashmere, Chelan, Waterville, Mansfield, Mount Vernon Christian. Coming up tomorrow night, we have wrestling right here on the Ncwlife channel. Hockey night on Thursday night. Boys basketball and girls basketball Friday and Saturday. That's a look at sports news. We'll have more on the Seahawks game with Minnesota tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. Keep it right here on the Ncwlife channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.